In the heart of an old Igbo village, where the moon hides behind restless clouds and the ancestors speak only in dreams, there lived a girl named Olama. To the eyes that watched her, she was perfect, a shy smile behind a white veil, skin smooth like calabash, footsteps soft as morning dew on red earth. But under that veil, Olama carried a secret that dripped from her mind like oil from a broken lamp, staining everything it touched. They say she came from another village far beyond the hills, alone, orphaned, wandering. Her beauty was her blessing and her curse. When Obinna saw her at the marketplace, pounding yam for an old widow, he knew he had found his bride. He brought her home on a rainy afternoon, his heart pounding like the festival drum. Obinna was young, kind-hearted, the village's pride. A farmer whose sweat turned barren land green. To him, Olama was a gift from the gods, gentle hands to wash his feet at dusk, soft laughter to chase away the spirits of loneliness. Mama Ijeoma, Obinna's mother, watched Olama from behind her raffia curtain. Her old eyes, sharper than a hunter's knife, saw what the villagers chose to ignore. Olama never spoke of her people, never prayed at the family shrine, never shed a tear when questioned about her past. Her eyes were always too dry, too cold. On the day of the wedding, the entire village danced. They poured palm wine, roasted goats, painted Olama's feet with white chalk. Under the Udola tree, she said the vows with a smile so sweet it hid the poison on her tongue. But that night as Obinna slept beside her on the woven mat, his arm draped over her waist, Olama's eyes stayed wide open. In her mind, she heard the crackle of flames, felt the heat of the fire that took her first husband's breath away. She remembered how she had lit the oil lamp, how she had left the door locked from the outside, how she walked into the dark bush with blood on her feet and ashes on her lips. They had called it an accident, the elders who never suspected a young bride could burn a home for freedom. But fire leaves witnesses, even if they cannot speak. And secrets, like seeds, always sprout again. On the third night, as the new bride bathed in the moonlight, she heard footsteps behind the fence. A man, a stranger wrapped in shadows, stood there, his eyes burning holes through her veil. He had found her, the only witness. Her husband's cousin who had smelled the kerosene, who had watched her slip away into the night. He wanted what every ghost wants: blood or silence. Olama begged him in the shadows behind the compound. Her tears fell on the clay like tiny storms. But the stranger wanted more than her fear. He wanted her new husband's wealth, her dignity, her soul under his thumb. To him, her secret was a noose, and he was ready to tighten it. Days turned into weeks. The marriage turned cold, like soup left too long by the hearth. Obinna, once warm and loving, now found her staring at fires, flinching at footsteps, waking from nightmares that left her throat raw with screams she could not explain. And so, in the dead of night, when the wind howled through the raffia roof, Olama made her choice. She waited by the old shrine behind the compound, where the stranger came to collect his blackmail. She greeted him with a gourd of palm wine and a quiet smile. No one heard the struggle, no one but the ancestors in the trees. When dawn came, the stranger's body lay hidden in the yam barn. Olama washed her hands in cold water, braided her hair, and served her husband's breakfast with trembling hands. But secrets buried in the soil do not stay dead, they bloom. They rot. They call. One day, when Obinna found the torn piece of cloth caught in the barn door, when he traced the blood that no goat could explain, when Mama Ijeoma whispered the prayers that old women whisper when they know death sleeps in the house, Olama's secret rose from the ashes. They say a bright smile can warm a home or burn it to the ground. In this village, the elders still tell the story of Olama, the beautiful wife whose secret made her more ghost than woman, more shadow than bride. And they warn their sons, be careful who you lift the veil for, sometimes what waits behind it is darker than any night you've ever known. Not every bride is a blessing. Not every secret stays buried. And not every fire can be put out.